hey, guess what's happened again? The Dodge Challenger's been discontinued, the Chevrolet Camaro's been discontinued, and once again, the Ford Mustang is the sole survivor in the pony car wars. But rather than just survive, Ford has given it an all-new model this year. And although I've driven plenty of Mustangs in the past, I've never driven the new one. So I think I'll get behind the wheel of Ford's iconic nameplate and see if the Mustang is also doomed to be discontinued or if its future looks bright. I'll get you back to this week's review in a second, but first let's talk about suspensions. Whether it be an upgrade or replacing worn out parts, fixing a vehicle suspension can be quite costly. Thankfully, this week's sponsor, Strutmasters, is here to help. Founded in 1999, Strutmasters offers affordable total solutions to fix costly complex air, magnetic, electronic, and hydraulic suspension systems. Whether you're an at-home mechanic or a professional repair shop, Strutmasters aims to exceed your expectations with a massive inventory of suspension pieces for different cars, trucks, and SUVs. Heck, Strutmasters even makes components for motorcycles. Strutmasters products are made of high-quality steel, many of which are manufactured in the US. They also offer a free shipping option within the continental United States. So if you need anything for your vehicle suspension, follow the link in the description below and visit Strutmasters today. So let's start with the look. It looks like a Mustang, but I won't just end it there. The front end, I don't know, at first it didn't really do it for me. It looked too generic and plain. On this particular car, I quite like it. So maybe it's trim dependent or maybe color dependent, but it doesn't have that same front look that the last couple generations have, which maybe is a good thing. Maybe it was time for a change. In the back, it has those classic triple taillights on either side. This car though has a giant crease in the trunk. In pictures, you don't realize how prominent it is, but when you see it, the trunk really just kind of juts in all of a sudden halfway down. I'm also super happy that this one came in grabber blue. Besides being one of my favorite colors currently sold, it's just nice to see a Mustang that isn't black. Like, why does everyone buy a black Mustang? Mustang owners, why are they always black? Inside, the Mustang's looking less and less unique every generation, but that's because people expect certain things in here. It's got two big screens, one for the infotainment system and all that good stuff. Climate control controls are all in there, which I'm not a fan of, but at least they're easy to get to. There's a digital dash, which is cool because you can set it to different themes, like an original Mustang looking theme or the Fox body theme, or just different versions of a modern digital dash. Seats are comfortable. These are the cloth seats and I have no complaints. This isn't the premium trim, so the interior is a little more basic, but Ford's done a good job to use different contrasting colors and textures of the plastics and cloth. For a vehicle that's really focused on performance like this is, I think they've done a pretty good job. The most important part about an interior in a car like this is really the driver. And here Ford has done a good job. The steering wheel, I can get at the right distance along with the pedals. The left armrest is nice and squishy, as is the right. If I'm not really driving hard and just cruising, I can just put my elbows down and rest when I'm ready to drive. The shifter's at a good spot, and a lot of the throws are medium in length. It engages quite good. It actually engages better than a lot of V8 manuals that I've driven, which nowadays they're few and far between. The rear seats, well, they're still Mustang seats, and what I mean by that is you're not gonna fit many adults back there, but with two adults up front, you can get two adolescents in the back, and for, you know, an occasional family shuttle, it works. The infotainment system comes with a lot of cool options, including wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but my specific trim doesn't have the wireless charging pad, so I still need a cord. So how does it drive? Well, maybe I'll let the car speak for itself. Yeah, the V8 still rocks. The Coyote's still awesome. Here it makes 486 horsepower with the valved exhaust, which I have, and 418 pound-feet of torque. Those numbers are pretty impressive, even in this day and age of ridiculously powerful EVs, and none of those can match the sound and feel of smashing a big V8 and hearing it snarl at the back and the back end wiggle a bit when you're switching gears. It's just special. Now, that said, The V8 does feel like it's missing some low-end torque. The power is very top-heavy, which I know is weird to say about a V8, but again, with this day and age of turbo everything and EVs, low-end torque's out there in abundance. When you do get the V8 into the high end, man, does it open up. And with the valved exhaust, you can have a quiet, normal, which is pretty loud, sport, which is really loud, and then there's track, which is only meant for the track and is even louder, but really it's not much louder than the sport. I'm surprised to get away with how loud the sport is, but I'm here for it. The last Mustang, I never really made friends with. I don't know what it was. I just felt disconnected, like something was missing. This one, steering, the shifter, the throttle application, the brakes, I just feel more connected, like I have more control of this big snarling beast. So about the steering, it's a bit of a mixed bag. It's very precise and the car responds immediately to your inputs, but it doesn't really communicate back to the driver what the tires are doing. That said, it has a very nice weight to it and I quite enjoy it. I feel like I'm in control of the car with it. So back to the transmission, I'm impressed with how little effort is required to change gears and how smoothly it engages. Some V8 transmissions, well, let's just say they're a little harsh. This one, not so much. So the Mustang with a 6-speed also has auto rev matching downshift, so you just pop it in gear and the engine will find it for you. I know this isn't true car guy and girl stuff, but you know what? It's nice. Sometimes I want to be lazy, and this is a nice feature because I can be lazy. So what about handling? Well, I didn't go to a track or really go to any crazy twisty fast roads. Plus there's plenty of places you can go online and see how this thing performs at the limit. What I was testing and experiencing is how does it feel driving around the city or on the highway or on secondary roads? Basically, what is it like in regular driving situations? Well, I'll get into the specifics in a second, but overall, it just feels like a way more reassuring in-control experience behind the wheel. Like I said, I felt a little disconnected from the last Mustang, almost like the chassis and the engine were at odds and I had to try to get on top of driving it before it would drive me. This one, it feels like a big, meaty Subaru BRZ to a degree. Like every action I take has an immediate reaction that I expect from the car. Maybe this more communicative feel of control will lead to maybe less viral online videos of Mustangs. You know what I'm talking about. But back to a serious note. The back end will slide when using heavy throttle applications, and it can spin tires and do burnouts. You know, all the good Mustang things. But I can aggressively drive through a turn, and I can feel when the back end's starting to lose grip. And when it does, I'm not so much sliding it or drifting it around the corner, but I can ease it back into the proper path. The previous Mustang wasn't quite as forgiving. There was way more of an abrupt, in-control, out-of-control moment. I'm sure a lot of what I like about the car comes with the track pack, and I don't really know why you'd get a V8 Mustang without the track pack. An EcoBoost I get, some people just want the style or the image or just a coupe. But if you're getting up to the big V8, spend a bit more and get all the bits that make the whole package fun. Having a big snarly V8 and doing donuts is cool. Don't get me wrong, it's cool. But having a vehicle that's as at home on a road course as a drag strip and can still do burnouts is even cooler. Honestly, I'm enjoying driving this Mustang more than I expected. I mean, I knew it'd be fun, but not like this. I mean, if this is the last muscle car standing, at least it's a really good one. It's incredible what a few small changes and tweaks can do to improve a car, but that's what Ford has done with the Mustang. When it comes to the whole package, there isn't much out there that can touch the Mustang in terms of fun for the money. You got that fantastic V8 soundtrack. It is pretty quick. Muscle car looks. You can get in cool paint. And most importantly, when you sit behind the wheel, the 6-speed manual, the steering wheel, the pedals, everything just makes you feel connected to this big burly muscle car. So back to my original question, is the Mustang's future looking bright? For the next couple of years, yeah, I think it is. This is potentially one of, if not the best Mustangs Ford's ever produced. But the writing's on the wall and I don't know if it'll be around forever. So if you're a fan of manual transmissions, V8s, and cool looks, I'd check out the new Mustang, especially before they're gone.